Big 3 returns to Dallas to battle it out in Week 4. Day 1 here in the Lone Star State featured close finishes. Teams seeking momentum into the second half, and we have more great action to come. As we look at the standings, a lot of parity this season. Bivouac picking up its first win in Week 4, while Power and the Killer Threes evened up their records. And today on CBS, all but one team in our triple header is 2-1. We start with Trilogy versus the Aliens, followed by three-headed monsters facing the enemies, and then the Ball Hogs taking on Tri-State. Hello and welcome inside Comerica Center. Slow Martin, Jim Jackson along with you. Jim, you just saw the standings right there. Things are stacked right now.
Well, it's parity across the board. You have 5 teams at the top of the chart, and we're almost halfway through the season. So this is the week you try to begin to separate yourself. 2 teams in Trilogy and Aliens, both at 2-1. We'll see right now who can get that dub today to kind of inch themselves ahead.
Let's start with the Trilogy and their do-it-all guard, Isaiah Briscoe, coming off a season-high 21 points.
Yeah, but 21. He does it in a variety of ways. The big body for a guard allows him to absorb the contact like you see him finish, but also the ability to stretch the defense to shoot outside is what makes him such a tough guard.
And they are led by 14-year veteran and champion Steven Jackson. Won the title last season, his first as head coach of Trilogy. Now switching to the Aliens, they have one of the best 3-on-3 players in the world in Dusan Bullet.
Well, it's all about the experience of playing overseas in regards to 3-on-3 and how the game is to be played. And so he brought some of his guys that know how to play a little bit more. The European style, I think, has bled into other teams trying to play this the way that Dusan has brought to the table. He can beat you from the outside, physical and very confident in his ability to play.
Rick Mahorn, the Detroit bad boy, leading the Aliens. He led Trilogy to the first title, the inaugural season of the Big 3. Here are our rosters presented by PNC Bank. You see the captains, Dushan Bullet and James White, the co-captains, Amir Johnson and Earl Clark shooting the ball very well for Trilogy. And then you see the international presence with Carlos Lasmanis and Tomislav Ivashev. That will be on the floor, a new look Aliens team. And here are our rules in the Big 3. First team to 50 will win. Halftime is 25 points. You must win by 2. There is no game clock, just a 14-second shot clock. Free throws have different distances, different values. You'll see how that plays out once we get into our contest. And then the circles on the court, 4-point opportunities. And what's fun, Jim, you see the influence of the Big 3. The WNBA All-Star game, which was today, they had a 4-point shot.
Yeah, but you know, they look at it as a joke, but it's not. Actually, it's a relevant part of the game. Think about this. When the ABA brought in the 3-point line, the NBA thought it was a gimmick. And now look how big of a part of the game it is, not just from the NBA side to see White knocking down the jump shot, but also international.
No, absolutely making an impact. And there were a lot of players in that game excited to take those 4-point shots.
That's right.
It is a 2-0 lead for Trilogy. Stevens had an outstanding game. He immediately goes to work, coming off a 17-12 game in Week 3 at the game-winning layup, too.
And Deshaun has been a pleasant surprise in regards to his ability to score. I mean, as a big at 6'8", you saw him put it on the deck, a little spin move, and now created a shot and got to the free throw line. So the versatility is what allows him. Now the free throw shooting, we got to work on that. Just a little bit more.
We'll see plenty of those opportunities today. But how have you seen him in the mix with in the international flair of this Aliens?
Well, it works perfect because you have a lot of court spacing. See the backdoor cut right there, which allows Stevenson room to work once he wants to get that big body inside. And I think that's why Dusan Bullet, what he brings to the table as far as international play and how to play 3-on-3, it's a little more structured in ways that allows his team to be successful.
Briscoe takes Bullet all the way for 2. Nice move.
Well, I mean, Isaiah, that big body, he knows how to create space, and that time just 2 dribbles, he was right to the basket.
He is one of the hardest hustling players you'll see in the Big 3 is Lasmanis. Frees himself up for a shot, misses the long range too. Briscoe also can get on the boards as well.
He can. Excellent rebounder for a guard. But that play was set up right there by Lasmanis to get that shot. This is a team that will force you to have to guard the full real estate, meaning the court. Isaiah Briscoe right here, look, behind the back, 2 dribbles, and then finishing with his left hand through the contact. And I mean, you know, he's tricky with it. Again, understanding when the ball moves slow, defense move, that's when you can create all the dribble.
Osmanis misfires from 3 to Stevens, keeping it alive, and he immediately attacks right at Amir Johnson.
Yeah, that's good defense, though, by Johnson. He was able to slide his feet and cut off, you know, the baseline a little bit and force Stevens to have to cough it up that time of turnover.
I'm really looking forward to that matchup. Like just big, physical, hard-working players, as that won't go for James White. Bullet quickly gets it off. Briscoe makes sure to properly clear. Don't want to have anything taken away because he didn't get both those feet behind the line. And he is fouled. So Trilogy leading 4-2 here early. And he was fouled shooting the 3. So a 3 throw.
3 throw. That's what it is, 3 throw. But I like it. I think at the beginning of the big 3, the rules were a lot different, whereas you would shoot 3 shots, 2 shots if you were fouled. But in order to pick up the pace of the game, the league figured this is a better way to do it, and it's worked, I think, to perfection in regards to speeding up the game.
And 3-on-3, as Lasmanis attacks, is already so quickly moving, you barely have any breaks.
Well, and that's why you got to come in shape, too. I mean, people think it's 3-on-3 in his half court and you can just go out there and play, but just with 3 players, you got to guard the length of this court. You see great defense that time by Stevenson.
Oh, yeah, you think there's less toll because you're not running 94 feet? Absolutely not.
No, especially if you have the back line, and you see Stevens on this shot block right here. If you're weak side corner and you have to sprint all the way to the other side to contest the shot or to contend for a drive, that's a lot of running.
Bullet will inbound the ball to Stevens. Lasmanis, difficult shot, can't get it off glass, but the defense made that difficult for the reigning 3-on-3 gold medalist from the Tokyo Games, his team Latvia, taking home gold in 3x3.
How about that? And people got to understand that how big 3-on-3 is international. This, you know, started off for us, I think, United States when you had the Gus Macker and a bunch of different things outside as a kind of a gimmick, but overseas, see the foul right there with Bullet. It is huge. I mean, playing 3-on-3 internationally. That's one thing Isaiah can do is get that big body in the paint. Bullet that time not allowing Isaiah to get the shot up.
I love thinking about the histories of these players and the environments that made them this kind of player, because Briscoe is probably pretty undersized on a lot of courts at 6'3", but he adapted his game to say, hey, I'm pretty strong and physical. I can post players up.
Great point to be made. I mean, a lot of these players find their way right here to fit perfectly with the big 3.
Bullet knocks down the 3. He's shooting 33% from there this year. Also a great distributor for this Aliens team, but you got to close in on that.
Oh, yeah. It's, again, you got to close the space. Again, not having help side or weak side help. You give some space open, they'll make you pin. There's Isaiah.
Briscoe took it deep and kicks it out. Missed by White. And it will be a turnover for Trilogy.
Well, you go back to Dusan right here at the top of the key. Look, just a little pick and roll. And sometimes, here's where I get into the switching part. Do you really have to switch? Because if you don't communicate early and often, you're going to leave a player and a shooter like Dusan open, and he's going to make you pay.
He is absolutely looking to put up a 3 anytime he can. That time, Briscoe fouls him as he puts it on the deck. Won't call it a shooting foul, though. Trilogy leading 6-5. First to 25 gets us to halftime. 50 is the winner as Lasmanis looking to get his shot falling. Can't get it there. Bullet, a little hesitant. Gonna set things up. Stevens. Calling for it in the post is Earl Clark. The spin move in the air, can't get it to fall.
Yeah, but Las Manas gave up some size and athleticism, but played it perfectly, got into the body of Clark, forced him to be off balance, but Stevenson's right there.
Cleaning up the boards off the bullet miss.
And Stevens able to get that body inside, and that's the thing too, like when the shot goes up with 3-on-3, I mean, you better find your man and be able to block him out. If not, you're giving up a lot of offensive rebounds.
In the corner, it is Briscoe, no good, and a foul going for that loose ball. So it'll be Bullet taking the ball out for the Aliens, who have now taken the lead. It's been a little bit of a slower start for both of these teams, trying to find their groove offensively. Bullet, a difficult turnaround shot, bounces out. Great effort by Stevens. No one in sight for Las Manas, and he makes Trilogy pay.
Well, I get the offensive rebound, right? Okay, so you're out of position. Stevens can't guard it, grab it himself, but he tips it out, and guess what? Now you have Trilogy. The defense is scrambling. Las Manas finds himself open, able to knock in that three just like he was shooting practice.
8-0 run for the Aliens. They're on top 10-6 here in the first half. Game one of our triple header. And that won't go, just beating the 14-second shot clock buzzer.
Travel.
Shuffled a bit.
Yeah, Texas two-step. That's it. It was three-step here. Easy call for the official to make. That time Bullet saw James White closing out. He knew he could get him with a little fake, but that time didn't keep his pivot down.
You're so anticipating this move. I can see it happening. It's going to work to perfection.
A little quick.
New into the game, Tomislav Ivoshev, another international member of this Aliens team from Serbia, same country as Bullet.
Hint, hint. I mean, and I love the way the powers to be opened it up in regards to including international players within this, because they bring a different dynamic, just like we see in the NBA.
Briscoe slithering in the paint, gets two. Dusan Bullet has talked about how he wants to advance his game, but also display his game in a whole different arena against different players, different circumstances.
Well, we've seen it before where players have gotten looks, whether that's been in training camp situations in the NBA, summer league opportunities. Eagle Chef traveled a little bit. Right there, we go back to Isaiah Briscoe again, the elusiveness right here between the legs and behind the back. Now again, he makes the move and it works because he keeps his handle tight. So the behind the back and crossover was tight enough that he can explode and get right downhill and finish at the rim.
He has it against Adam Drexler, yes, the son of the Big 3 commissioner Clyde Drexler, as Briscoe powers his way through again, and he's fouled. He is just so strong when he puts the ball on the deck.
Oh, yes. And you have to honor, I think, with this too, if you have the correct spacing, you have to honor the fact that he can shoot the ball. So what are you going to give up? Are you going to give up the jump shot, or are you going to give up the drive? So you got to kind of play in between, but enough to not just give Briscoe, an angle to beat you to the basket.
Critical miss free throw in the Big 3. It's one shot for 2 points when you're fouled while shooting, and that will be a shot clock violation for the Aliens, who don't look quite in sync.
No, at the beginning of the game, you see some scripted plays. And I think what happens as the game matures a little bit more, you kind of get away from it. I think this Aliens team is really good when they kind of stick to the script and run their play sets. And that's when they tend to get better and high-quality shots.
Hawkins trying to bully Bullet. He comes up short. Ivoshev gets clocked across the face. Clark says, "My bad," and he's fouled.
That pump fake, the ability to stretch the defense right there got Earl Clark. You're not supposed to go for that. But, it's tempting, though, because, he can shoot the ball.
Evo Chef gets the feed from Bullet and converts. That was over his head, that pass by Bullet. And that brings us to our first break. Aliens leading 12-8.
Hey, go back to a scripted play, the high pick and roll. You have a shooter coming off. How you going to guard? If 2 people come, drop it over the top. Evo Chef able to pirouette inside. Easy 2. Aliens up 4.
Briscoe, now, first of all, how tall are you?
6'3".
You know you dominate. You score more points in that restricted area and the most attempts in the big 3.
I mean, that's what I do. The ball get a little slippery after a while, so I just got to go to what I know is definite buckets.
Keep dominating. That takes me to our Microsoft Heat Index. You guys want to see a little shot chart?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Let me, JJ, I know you'll like this. 18 for 22, 77% in that restricted area. The man gets it done. That's better than any other player in the big 3. Percentage, buckets, and the man just gets it done in that restricted area.
It's our big 3 Heat Vision powered by Microsoft, but also look at the number of shot attempts that he's even getting in
But see, that's Scal in the Summer League. When he gets it going, Scal will kill you inside the paint. He does not tell you.
That's against normal Joes, man.
That's what I'm saying. I said, okay, I didn't say which Summer League. I just said Summer League.
Yeah, I'd be killing it. I'm telling you. I coach a 15-year-old team, a girls team. I dominated. Dominated.
Oh, wait, do you take them straight to the post and back them down?
Yeah, Shaq. Shaq style.
A little set play coming out of the commercial break. Again, it's you get a shot if you're the Aliens, or you pick up a foul. And it's a simple thing, Sloan, to say, yes, let's run our offense, but the team that can be more disciplined, or the teams, I think, will always get the higher percentage shots when they run their sets.
Evo Chef backing down. Briscoe pulls the chair out to perfection.
And Steven Jackson is loving it too, because Briscoe, being undersized his whole career, he understands that when bigs get him on the post, they want to play bully ball. So you just use your head instead of your brawn that time, and just, like you said, pull the chair.
Hey, I want to tell those 15-year-old girls that he's coaching to do that exact same thing.
You should. Now, the key is, does Brian try to block their shots all the time when he's inside? 'Cause I can see Brian trying to take the ego right there to not let them score a basket. I can see that.
Hawkins scoring inside. Sometimes it takes a little bit of tough love. You got to take some toughness in the paint if you want to get tougher.
Okay. That's what happened to you, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shot missed inside Briscoe. Tight ropes the baseline, and it's stolen by Bullet.
And good hands by Drexler to deflect that pass.
Drexler a little one-on-one, doesn't get the bounce.
But that's good defense by Briscoe, because he knew that Drexler didn't want to pull up for the jump shot, so he gave him space.
Drexler could go right back up with that and stuffed by Clark.
But that's an example, too, of going back up by how physical the play is in the big 3, where normally this would be a foul, because the left arm got into the hip of Drexler, but yet in the big 3, whether you like it or not, or you think it's a physical league, and that particular occasion was not a foul, even though it was.
And I guess it depends on what side you're on, whether you enjoy that or not.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Drexler wanted to get to the free throw line on that one. Beautiful play.
Lasmatis extending through the lane. He can't get that to drop. Briscoe. So show he can shoot it from the outside as well, but misfires there. Evo Chef. That's not there either. Stevens also denied. Lid on the rim for Trilogy before a foul bails them out.
Yeah, both teams struggling to find the bottom of the net. Getting some good looks. Offensive rebounds, some shots going up, open jump shots, but it's trying to figure out the rhythm here. And a lot of times, don't get yourself to the free throw line. If you're not shooting the ball well from the perimeter, you can't score. Figure out a way to get in the penalty or get to the free throw line to maybe get buckets that way. But then when you get there, you got to convert.
Well, both teams in the bonus already as White takes contact, and he's too strong off glass. You're right about the physicality in this game. As Stevens steps back and a foul away from the ball. Seen a lot of that too.
Yeah, that time Briscoe Getting undersized that time, trying to figure out a way to keep Chef off the glass, but watch him right there. Both are tangled up. Now in the league, that's a takedown and a flagrant one in the NBA, the hook rule, and that's what that was. But here's just a foul. Chef at the free throw line.
Chef also with international 3-on-3 experience, hailing from Serbia. And it will be Aliens basketball. (14-12), the Aliens lead. Chef has the deep post up. He did the work ahead of time.
But it's going back to what works too, because now with the switch, you had Briscoe inside, and Chef sealed enough to get it and go before Briscoe could recover or help could come.
The block by Stevens sends it out of play.
And this is just a good read. Weak side defense. Stevens times it up perfectly. Probably want to block that a little bit more and try to keep it in bounds to keep the possession.
Knocked down the mid-range by Earl Clark. There's certainly an art to shot blocking. Sure, of course there is the excitement of sending it to the 10th row, of spiking it into the ground, but you're right, you can also try and keep it in. As Chef can't get that to fall. Throws it up to Stevens. The lob worked to perfection for the Aliens.
No, heads up play. Good defense that time by Trilogy, but then Chef right there saw Stevens down the lane, just threw it right to the middle.
Clark feeling it from the mid-range right now to respond. 18-16. The Aliens still on top, but maybe the offenses finding their flow right now here in week 4 as Lasmanis misfires badly.
Lost chance right there. That's hard pass Clark to James White. Takes him away from the layup, and now you're probably forced to take a tough contested shot.
3 seconds on the clock. White gets back iron. And a foul on the floor.
And we go back to Chef right here. Heads up play. Just throw it to the front of the rim, and Stevens. Isaiah Briscoe, they want no parts of that one.
Chef, the way he was falling away from the basket, just desperation. Help us out here.
Man, they got help. They got help. But again, offensive rebound. You're not attached to your guy. You're smart. You run, find an open spot, you get an open shot.
So I think 3 missed 2-point free throws by Briscoe. Those are big opportunities for points. They add up.
Well, yeah, because again, you talked about you only get one shot. And how big, you know this by covering the game. How big are free throws, especially down the stretch?
Oh, of course.
Offense. Briscoe, good anticipation. That's easy call. I mean, the push off with the left arm by Stevens. Easy call for the officials to make.
I'm so impressed by how he defends the post as a 6'3" guard. And we are going to bring the fire. Our first of the day in game 1 here in Frisco, Texas. And bring the fire, something completely unique to the Big 3. This is a challenge of a shooting foul. The 2 players involved will go 1-on-1. Each team gets 1 challenge per half. And they've eliminated the rule as of this week of needing a 2-dribble minimum, so that changes the game a little bit.
That you still have to be inside the 3-point line, but it does change the game based upon if a player backs up and all you need is 1 dribble, you can pull up and shoot. And that's something we saw that happen on last week.
It'll be Briscoe against Stevens. You have the quick guard against the post. Briscoe will fade away. He falls off glass. I'm sure he exactly planned it that way.
He called it in his head. You know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But Stevens, that's what you wanted. You wanted to stay in front of Briscoe, make the shot tough, which he did. But sometimes it's great D, better O.
Briscoe barely got that shot off.
Hey, he got it up just enough. He created enough space with that fall away, and he's coming right back at him right here, open up for Clark. Clark couldn't handle it.
White, after Clark mishandles, he mishandles himself.
Yeah, some opportunities here lost by Trilogy. Talked about the missed free throws, but also that's a layup. He had a layup inside from Clark earlier. Couldn't handle the passes a little bit too hard. Those things come back to bite you. You know, when the game is on the line. Once you gave up, a beautiful pass inside.
Ivashef, he had the perfect angle, and the pass was exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, but Las Manas, the extra dribble allowed Ivashef to kind of get deep position inside.
Well, a timeout called on the floor. We will be back in 30 seconds right after this.
I'm good. Easy breezy. Easy breezy.
Aliens on top of Trilogy, 20-18, and we just saw this beautiful basket.
Well, here, it's Las Manas inside. This is a left-hand pass, but Ivashef did an excellent job of sealing Briscoe, but then presenting a passing angle to get the ball inside. Again, set plays, get the switch, react to it, now you get a high-quality shot.
Briscoe, full head of steam, attacks the rim. He said, if you're going to score on me in the post off these switches, I'm going to go right at you in the paint too.
But that was set up too, that he could have the middle of the court wide open to be able to have that drive. Las Manas a little short on that jump shot.
White quickly gets it to Briscoe, takes contact, loses it. You can score off of that turnover inside three-point range, and it results in an easy two. Aliens with an opportunity to send it to halftime. Clark just grazes front iron. Stevens trying to go to work in the post. Ivashef finds Las Manas, a beautiful cut.
Well, that little hesitation with his pump fake got, you know, the defense to open up just enough in Las Manas. Again, that European basketball always moving without the ball. Able to get it in.
White for two as he attacks in the paint.
And finally able to get something positive. James, that time, an original member of this league when Trilogy won it the first year. And it was all bully ball back then. I'm telling you.
Ivashef, he is fouled.
It's the movement for the Aliens right here, not standing in one place. James White had to help a little bit on Briscoe.
And we are going to bring the fire once more, the second time in this half. It'll be Ivashef against White. Seems like they match up pretty well. And off the shooting foul, unique to the big three. We'll see one-on-one with the players involved. Ivashef stopped by White, and defense gets the stop.
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch two bigs go when you have bring the fire. Now, James White is more of a forward. Ivashef is a little bigger in regards to size, but you don't have the same kind of jiggy with it off the dribble that you would when you have guards do it. That's why it's interesting to watch that.
And defense dominating
out,
this season. I have not updated the math to include these two bring the fire, so forgive me, but coming into today, about 75% success rate for defense in bring the fire. You don't want to get shown up getting scored on, I guess.
No, you don't. Ivashef right there had an open three-point shot. Didn't take it, but gave it up, and still Las Manas able to get it.
That will bring us to halftime. The Aliens felt like that connection was growing in the first half. They lead 26-22 here in game number 1.
Good halfway to finish for the 80s. Again, for them, when they get you in half court, they can run their sets, they get offensive rebounds, they cut, they move, they can get some easy baskets.
Well, the Aliens and Trilogy both trying to get their 3rd win this season. Brian Scalabrine standing by with Rick Mahorn.
All right, thanks, Rick. Pretty physical game so far. You like what you see from your team?
I do. I like the intensity. They're matching their physicality. And, you know, we'll get some calls, but it's a good game. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, what do you got to do offensively to generate some easier looks?
Well, the thing is, we got to make some baskets, make some shots. My 2 guards are struggling. Hey, but that's credited to their defense. But we'll get it going.
All right, good luck second half.
Well, that is the end of the first half. The Aliens on top, 26-20.
Hey, this ain't a team where we gotta help. We just gotta stay solid. Box out, rebound. You know, he's blatantly traveling, bro. The reason why I know it, because it's legal over there.
I got you.
And that's all them play over there.
I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
all right. We don't need him to win. We need you to win. He ain't doing nothing.
Well, Steven Jackson's team trailing right now. You see the energy that he brings. That we knew him as a player as well. He's forcing the Aliens into some poor shooting, particularly from 3, but still finds himself down.
Well, that's because, one, not taking advantage of opportunities when you had layups and shots, missing free throws, but giving offensive opportunities to the 80s. And the 80s, you got to give the Aliens a lot of credit, though. Okay? When they settled in, ran their offense, they were able to get some high-quality shots.
Well, Deshaun Stevens, fantastic in the first half. He's got 13 rebounds, 6 of those offensive.
Well, just the hustle and everything like that he has gives him the opportunity to do some stuff like this, to get inside, to get stuff going. But also, listen, that means that Trilogy is missing a lot of shots, too. So he's able to clean up the defensive glass.
Trilogy in the first half, 10 for 25 as we kick off the second half here at Comerica Center in Frisco, Texas. Clark pushing his way over Lasmanis. Behind the backboard shot, also not there. The Aliens will very much want to get Bullet and Lasmanis going to combine 3 for 19 in the first half.
Yeah, but that's good defense by Earl Clark. A tough passing angle to get the ball.
Good ball movement by Trilogy, but too long by Briscoe.
Yeah, but good block out inside by Bullet, who's given up, 4 or 5 inches on Amir Johnson, able to keep him from getting an offensive rebound.
Yeah, you guys were talking about the poor shooting. I took away on my Microsoft Heat Index all the shots inside of 10 feet. They're 5 for 28 for all shots outside of 10.
Say that again.
5 for 28. Like, hey, Jim, we can get out there and do that, right?
Definitely. Hey, listen, you give me some open looks, baby. I'm gonna knock a higher percentage in.
Yeah, I know. I mean, 5 for 28. Come on.
But my time limit is gonna be 2.5, 3 minutes, bro. After that, the cigars kick in. After that.
That's our Big 3 Heat Vision powered by Microsoft. I couldn't believe inside 10 feet.
I know. Those are the opportunities that you miss that we're talking about.
Lasmanis still can't find the bottom of the basket. He was 1 for 5 from 3 in the first half, and this is normally a team that looks for threes, knocks them down too.
I get some good looks. I mean, sometimes it's a rhythm thing, and Brian, you understand this too. That's a tough pass right there. You start to hit a couple and get into a rhythm, it can change like that, but it goes the other way too. You miss a few, now it can go that way where now you can't find the bottom of the rim.
And I felt like the Aliens started to adjust that rhythm by cutting to the basket, trying to get those high percentage shots. Here's Clark spotting up for 3. He's got it.
Good shot, dribble, drive, penetration. It's funny because Rick Mahorn was a part of this Trilogy team that wanted this was straight power. This is a different team than which he coached last year. So this team is built around movement. So how he adjusts, you see Stevens right there able to get to the basket, is a credit to his coaching, because now he's allowing his personnel to dictate how they're going to play.
That's what's so fun about the Big 3 is that we see the personalities of these coaches. We watch them for years and years, but they're able to adapt to coaching for the personnel that they have.
Well, but also, too, it goes into drafting, because you're going to draft a certain player that you want to kind of fit your system, but then as you get into it a little bit more, you learn the strengths and weaknesses of your players. See good defense right there, and you kind of make that adjustment while you're playing.
Good second effort by Stevens, who is, he's going to end today with monster numbers. Again, those 13 rebounds in the first half. Stuck with it that time. And Johnson cleans it up. Aliens on top 30-29. Has been closely contested from the outset. It is Bullet. Hit one early on, but hasn't found it since from three-point range.
Yeah, but another offensive rebound that time. That's minus, but that's good defense again by Clark to snip it away that time from Stevens and put it right up.
Johnson scores inside. It's because of shots like that he's shooting 80% overall from the floor this season. That's tops in the Big Three entering this week. Bullet again. The chair pulled out by Isaiah Briscoe. Just the craftiness of the guard.
Yeah, go back one more bucket. Stevens right here, baseline. Amir Johnson does a great job. Again, forcing to the baseline, but then using those long arms to knock it away to take it inside. So that's the second time he did that to Stevens in this game.
Of course, he can go right back up with that ball, too, off the turnover. Doesn't have to be cleared. Good pass back down low from Clark to Johnson.
Yeah, how about this? You see a better offensive rhythm by both teams coming out of halftime. Sometimes the early game, the first team that plays struggles a little bit with rhythm. But then in the second half, like we see, a little bit more fluid and speaking on point. Pull that right there to knock in a much-needed three for the Aliens.
Much-needed three for the Aliens and for him, too, his second today. Clark trying to back down Lasmanis. Bullet's got it again for the Aliens. Maybe finding his touch as he overpowers Briscoe, trying to beat Briscoe and hit his own game.
You see a little bully ball? Now, again, players, we got egos too now. You just not gonna bullet me the whole time, and that time Bullet was like, I'm getting downhill and I'm gonna put my body on you. And Briscoe, he absorbs it, pushes, good defense, good old, but not able to get it knocked in. Both players going at it. I love the competitive nature between the two.
They were chest to chest on that play, too. And now Briscoe backing him down. He'll try the step back. And can't get the bounce.
Yeah, Bullet was like, you can have that one. I did my job by not allowing you to use that body and just put me under the basket. So.
Bullet's got it for the Aliens.
Set play.
Throws it for Stevens, and he slams it home.
I mean, listen, the simpler you keep the game, the easier it is to get some shots. And that time, there was a simple pick and roll. You force Trilogy to figure out ways to guard it. When you don't, and they make a mistake, you make them pay for it. And the lob was right there.
White, not there. It's got to be so fun to be Stevens, to play with these two players who are constantly looking for you for lobs, a consistent pick and roll game too.
Oh yeah, again, it's court spacing. Now that's the third travel by Bullet in this game. And remember when Steven Jackson was mic'd up, he talked to the official, look, he's used to doing it overseas all the time. That's the third one they've called on him.
Those are critical turnovers too.
Well, you don't get a possession. At least get a shot at the rim, like right there. Even if you miss, get a chance to get fouled or get an offensive rebound.
So he's fouled in the act of shooting. We'll go to the free throw line for one shot for 2 points. And with the make, that brings us to a break. The Aliens on top, 37-33 down the stretch here in the second half.
Yeah, but Bullock might have been called for travel, not on this one. Look, guard just pick and roll, two come to me, throw it up top. Stevens, take all two of those, put it in the rim. Better offensive execution in the second half. Aliens up 4.
It is none other than the back-to-back MVP, Joe Johnson, with 57% of last week's vote. He scored 30 of the triplets, 48 points in week 3.
Well, not surprised because Joe maintains his excellent condition all year round. I mean, with the yoga and working out, he loves to play. So you can't be surprised when he is able to come back and dominate in this league because of the work that he puts in all year round.
Yoga too, huh?
Hot yoga, all that stuff. Listen, some of the posts that he has on his Instagram force me sometimes to try to do stuff that I shouldn't do because he's doing it. You know what I mean? I'm like, but I'm not as advanced in that as he is.
Let's bring in Scout.
JJ, you're lying, man.
I do try it.
No, you think about trying it, you set up like you're about to try it, and then you're like, oh, man, what am I doing?
Hey, listen, I tried one of his poses at the gym after. Yeah. I couldn't get up, bro.
Yeah, I know. You were like, because you know why? Because Joe Johnson inspires both of us, but that's different, man. He a different breed, man. We ain't like that.
Look, he's so different. He's starting his own yoga studio.
Yeah.
That's how different he is.
Yeah, we think we buy the pass, but we don't show up.
No, exactly. Hey, listen, they can sell us the program like, look, so many sessions.
Yeah.
We go to the first one.
Yeah.
Now, have you done the hot yet?
Yeah.
Couldn't breathe, right?
No. No, I just be chilling in there, man.
Hey, listen, the person next to me was like, okay, so you had vodka last night. You had.
That used to be practice back in the early 2000s.
Oh, speaking of which, that nice little backdoor cut. Again, it's out of bounds, set play. Able to get a nice little slip pass inside to Evo Chef and get himself to the free throw line.
One shot for 2 points. Both teams struggled a bit from the free throw line in the first half. And he knocks that one down. 39-33, the Aliens on top. I mean, it probably is a good thing to try and emulate Joe just because, I mean, you're 40 years old and you're able to get a 10-day contract in the league.
I know. That says a lot. I mean, now, guys are playing extended periods of time based on their age in the league now anyway because they're taking better care of themselves. But for Joe, everybody thought he should have been on the roster anyway and a 10-day wouldn't be necessary, but that's a little bit how the league goes.
That'll be a shot clock violation for Trilogy, and you need to talk about the officiating. This is really just letting them play.
It is, and it's a control thing too because you want to allow guys to play physical, but not where it takes away from how the game is being played. Because if it gets over the top, now you're just mud wrestling, and that's something you don't want. You want the game to be poetic, you want it to be smooth, but you want to allow guys to play too.
It's a fine line with that.
It is, and officials have to figure that out, but more importantly, players have to adjust to how the officials are calling the game. We say it all the time, it's an easy thing, but the officials have a tough job with these physical, athletic players. You can call a foul like that every play.
Stevens off glass. He cleaned that up after the Briscoe miss.
You know, one thing about this too, and we'll come back, I'll get to it, I'm gonna tease you a little bit as we come back to break, is something interesting about
Timeout is on the floor. The Aliens leading Trilogy 41-33, trying to build some separation, a little bit of a cushion, and Trilogy will have to try and come back. Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies, from action hits to can't-miss comedies like Sonic 2 and The Lost City. Paramount Plus has top picks for all your movie nights. So grab some popcorn and head to ParamountPlus.com to try it for free.
Hold on. Say again?
All right, so I'm going to go back to my point. Hey, Scal.
Yeah.
You got me? Listen,
I do.
In 3-on-3, how would your shot selection is so important to how it sets up or affects your defense. You know what I mean? Like, you take bad shots in this league, in this game, you've given your opponent an opportunity just to score and get easy shots, right?
100%. You take a bad shot, more than likely, they call that transition. You're going to give up that corner three. And it's demoralizing when you do it.
Well, I also heard you and Nancy talking about transition basketball within the BIG3 and how a bad shot or a long shot produces a transition opportunity for the opposing team.
Yeah. And it's also, remember, when people take a bad shot, a lot of guys on your team, you know, for whatever reason, drop their shoulders, sigh, and it's over at that point. That's a wide open. A lot like this one right here.
Well, that was the transition you were talking about right there, sprinting to the three-point line and then doing this, getting an offensive rebound, but they weren't able to capitalize. That's how you can get open shots, but if you move quickly, get it out. You and I think last week it was you and Lisa did. Nancy did an excellent job of describing that.
Do you think the best teams are the ones that are so easily able to just flip a switch?
Yes, they are. Again, it's the teams that are coordinated on each, understand their roles, they play hard, but also understand how to play this game.
Hawkins has it against Stevens. And he is going to be fouled.
We'll see at the end. Stevens did a good job initially right here by maintaining his discipline, but that little pump fake, and then he lunged just a little bit. There we go.
We got our third Bring the Fire today. Unique to the Big Three, we will see the two players involved in that foul call go one-on-one. It'll be Hawkins and Stevens, who's a really athletic, a lot of length when he plays defense. Hawkins loses it, and by default, defense wins.
Once again, what that percentage goes up towards the defense. I mean, and that's a tough one too, because Hawk is smaller, doesn't have the quickness that he had a few years ago, and Stevens able to keep him in front, and Hawk wanted to go quick. But the timing, he lost the ball, stepped out of bounds, another win for the defense.
Ivo Chef is fouled by White. He says, that's on me. Physicality continues in this one. Game 1 of 3 coming your way here on CBS.
Again, strategy going down the stretch, you got 41 points. Do you utilize the three-point shot, the four-point shot? I say no, you keep running your offense like this and get baskets.
11-0 run for the Aliens that almost made it a 13-0 run just outside of the reach of Ivo Chef. As White, talking about bully ball, that won't go.
No, another close to the rim shot. Not able to go in for Trilogy. Love it, threw it away.
That was almost going to be one of the flashiest plays of the weekend.
Yeah, it was. But you notice
if there was a player there.
That was a two-man game between two kind of not forwards, post players. But Ivo Chef was a little off balance, because if he was on balance, he was going to be able to catch that and finish that with his left. But he wasn't, so again, it's a turnover, a lost possession and opportunity for Aliens to get closer to closing this game out.
So Rick Mahorn is going to give Deuce Bullet a little bit of a rest here late. Beautiful move by Clark, finishing on the opposite side.
Isolation. Stevens goes for the hesitation, loses his footing. And again, Ivo Chef couldn't really separate himself from Amir Johnson right there to help. Because if he does, it's a drop-off, or if the shot goes up, it's an offensive rebound. So good play that time, an offensive rebound. Briscoe not giving up on the play.
Never does, will always attack the boards at 6'3", and now trying to prevent the post up to Ivo Chef. Stevens looking exactly there, and there's a whistle.
But smart play by Stevens. He was on the block. He knew Ivo Chef had the high-low situation, so he sprinted up to the free throw line, which presented the passing angle to eventually pick up that foul.
3-on-3 is 3-on-3, but I just give so much credit to Stevens this season for how he's really melded in with these international players, the Europeans.
Well, he made the adjustment to how to play this game, too. It's not easy when you first come into the league to get used to the rules, the spacing, the timing, everything like that. Stevens has done an excellent job in his first year of really just morphing right into a dominant player in this league.
14 points, 8 rebounds a game for Stevens. He's only going to go up after this one as Briscoe knocks it away, but a shot clock violation, a late turnover, and it will be Trilogy ball.
Now, the physicality got more physical the last 3 or 4 possessions by Trilogy, not allowing the Aliens to get any good looks. And now Earl Clark knocks in another jump shot, cutting the lead down to 4.
And Clark has had a great second half. Getting that jump shot going, the mid-range.
Yep.
Using the screen multiple times, frees up Les Monis, and he knocks it down.
A smart play. Briscoe did an excellent job of getting over the pick the first time, so you wouldn't have to switch. But Les Monis never, you know, stopped his dribble. He maintained it and was able to get back open.
Trilogy is fouled on the ground, it looks like.
Coach Jack wants continuation. Let's see, does he pick it up? He picks it up. But I guess they're calling it before he gathered to go up for a shot, is what the official is saying. I think it's still a continuation.
Steven Jackson trying to appeal.
Can't review that one.
43-37 Aliens.
Good defense by Stevens right there. Good defense.
Contest the shots.
Yeah, but that was really good patience too by Earl Clark, because he could have forced a tough fadeaway shot, but he got back, got his rhythm, got to his right hand, and pulled up for a nice little mid-range jump shot.
Good confidence from Clark too, seeing the way that Stevens is defended in this game, and in his first season in the Big 3, Ivoshev, that's not there. Clark go to work in the post.
Oh, another missed shot.
Followed by a Les Monis miss, but put back in. Briscoe. A little bit of tension there on the baseline. Steven Jackson coming in as well.
Well, Briscoe is mad because Ivoshev locked that arm and pulled him down. Now, again, these two have been going at it the whole game. So let's put it in context. Both have been throwing body blows at each other. So it's going to get physical. The tension is going to be there. This is where the officials have to clean it up again.
Well, they're looking to see if it is a flagrant one in this case. And you bring up a great point, is that it really has been that way this entire game between those two.
Yeah, and the official kind of let it go. But this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a flagrant one, because of at the end of the play. Watch Ivoshev right here. Okay, they're going, and he pulls him right there. See how he wraps him at the end? If they deem that as unnecessary, then you got a flagrant foul. Right here, okay, you tangled up. You go down, that's one thing. But then once you pull that arm, that's something totally different. Again, that's a hook and hold in the NBA. That's a flagrant.
And I don't think anything malicious on either side, just hard competing
No, they're
plays.
playing hard. You know, neither one wants to hurt each other, but both want to send the message that you're just not going to bully either, especially Isaiah being a smarter player.
Do it again? Yeah.
So this play continues to be under review, and we will get an explanation. But this is a critical moment with the score 45-39, with Trilogy having that time run out on them.
Okay, I'm good.
Another look at what they're reviewing between Ivoshev and Isaiah Briscoe.
See, it's critical because Alien scored the ball.
Tango play. Tango play. No foul. No foul. He said no foul on play.
Not even with the. Okay, got it.
And it's going to be no foul.
Hey, listen, he says nothing. No foul. Again, it's interesting to see how different it is. In the NBA, that's a hook. I don't care, all day, every day. In the Big 3, it's a common foul. It's Trilogy ball.
Briscoe goes right to the rim, and he's fouled. Just never-ending energy, effort from him.
But it's a smart play. Why? They just went to the replay booth with Isaiah Briscoe involved. He didn't get the call. So what does he do? Immediately gets the ball, heads down, forces the official now to put them in a situation where they have to call a call. He did, but again, he missed his third free throw.
It's been a tough night for him. From the free throw line, everything else has been really strong for Briscoe, but a lot of points left at the charity stripe as Lasmanis in rhythm.
Yeah, good contest that time by Clark.
Clark one-on-one against Lasmanis.
Good defense. Better once again, Lasmanis did everything he could. Size won that one. And Earl Clark able to shoot right over the top.
He's had a great second half.
Yeah, better when he first came out. He was kind of the catalyst for Trilogy coming out right at the beginning of the second half. Oh, push off.
And that time it will be an offensive foul.
And the physicality has gotten the Aliens out of an offensive rhythm. They've been stuck right around where they're at right now. It's been tough. You know, they have 41. There's been a lot of hard work to get to 45, let alone to close this out. It's not going to be easy to close out the champs. You know that.
Clark, all his points coming in the second half. A big free throw. And another one missed by Trilogy. Would be a much different ball game.
Oh, he should have took that up.
Oh, didn't have to clear it.
Nope.
Try and make up for that. Bounces out.
So think about that. You had an easy 2, and now you were forced because your mind lost kind of what's going on. You had to shoot a 3, now you gave up a 2. So that's I'm not going to do the math on that. Kind of swing is that. So long, you did that for me.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
But it does show how quickly things can change in the Big Three.
Look at Isaiah. Bully ball.
Incredible.
You know, I will say this too. It's point game for Aliens, but despite Isaiah missing the free throws, it hasn't dissuaded him from still attacking the basket to get fouled, to get to the free throw line. You notice you see a lot of players, they miss some free throws, especially late in the game. They won't go back at it.
Exactly right, and he misses once more. Just a tough night from there for Briscoe, who's otherwise been outstanding today.
Yeah.
And the Aliens have a point game. A 3 would end it, and it does. Deshaun Stevens, a fantastic game in week 4, leading the Aliens to victory 50-41, the final over Trilogy.
Stevens done a little bit of everything. Offensive rebounds, block shots. But right here, the ability for him to step out behind the 3 when you need it to get it done. And that time, Amir Johnson, understanding who he's guarding, says, you can take it. I'm going to be there. But Stevens said, no, give me that. I want to take this one home for victory.
19 rebounds for him today. A great effort, and he is standing by with Scout.
I'm here with Deshaun Stevens. Have you hit a game winner before?
No, not in the Big 3.
First time. Monster night on the offensive glass. Very physical game. You seem to relish in that.
Yeah, definitely. I just try and be the energy guy for our team and, try and give everybody energy as much as I can with my movements on the floor. So.
All right, congratulations.
Back-to-back great games, as there's a little bit of extracurricular as Eva Chef is leaving the floor. Not surprised to see Steven Jackson, of all people, maybe take exception to what he saw in this game.
Yeah, I'm a little upset. I think it says it all right there. Again, the passion in this league from a player perspective and coaches, people want to win. So
that's exactly right. Everyone wants to win here in the Big 3, and Trilogy falls to 2-2 this season. Well, that is the end of game 1 of our triple header. The score 50-41. Aliens come out on top, improve to 3-1. Stay tuned for more Big 3 action. 2 more games coming up. We'll return to Dallas after these messages.